Dan the Man fans, welcome back to another one of my meta cast videos. Yes, I am super excited to be bringing you a potential meta list for the new Stellar Crown format. That's right, when this video goes live, Dortmund Regional is just around the corner on the 28th and 29th of September. Sadly, I will not be attending as I'm having my 40th birthday party, but I would have gone otherwise. The regional I will be attending first will be Gdansk. Anyway, I am super excited to bring you the top 10 Stellar Crown list, which I think potentially will do very well at Dortmund. You might want to invest in some of these cards. You might want to play some of these decks. Here we go. Let's get started with number 10. Okay, so in at number 10, we have Roaring Moon, or should I say Baby Roaring Moon. Yes, this deck is quite annoying because it plays mostly single prizes. If you can KO the Pheasantipede EX, then you might be able to get slightly ahead on the prize trade. When this deck gets going and you get enough ancient cards in the discard, I tell you what, you are in trouble. Roaring Moon can do 70 with just 2 energy, and then for 10 more, it does 10 more damage for each ancient card in the discard. By the end of the game, it can be knocking off 330 damage, quite easily knocking out things like Charizard and Pidgeots, etc. This deck does suffer sometimes with consistency. It does brick quite hard, and if you can only get one Roaring Moon down at the beginning or Flutter Mane, you could potentially get donked. This is a great deck and it is going to see some play at Dortmund. However, I just don't think it's really that good at the moment, and it's gained nothing from Stellar Crown, so I've actually kept the list exactly the same. Without further ado, let's head to number 9. Okay then, number 9, we've got the big boy Roaring Moon EX. This deck, again, hasn't really changed much. In fact, this is the world's list. It hasn't changed at all. No new cards from Stellar Crown. Yes, you've still got to be careful for that move that will knock you out on Roaring Moon and put 200 damage on itself. Petulance, very useful for switching. The Squawkabilly is good for like discarding your hand and getting a fresh one, and the Fez is there to obviously draw with its flip the script. I love that move. However, it's not gained much. It is a good deck. It's good. It will do well. There will be a few day 2s at Dortmund. However, I just don't think it's up there with the top tables, and obviously it's gained nothing from Stellar Crown. So there we go. If you want to play this, be my guest, but I just think you could do better with another deck. Right, number 8. Okay, in at number 8, we've got one of my favourite decks. That is Miraidon. It's not gained an awful lot, I have to say. That Joltik is very useful if you want to get some electric energy acceleration. Grass energy is also good if you want to get something on Miraidon, for example, or anything that plays a colourless, maybe the Ryoku. If there's a really nice build out there with an Area 0 Underground, and if you get 8 on the bench, Ryoku could be doing a lot of damage, but this version relies kind of on the Academy at night to get an energy back onto the top if you're playing the electronic or the electric generators there. The only real new card it has actually gained is Joltik. There is nothing really new. The Miraidon strategy is the same. Get as many energy on the board, explode it with Raichu, get ahead with Iron Hands, and smash 220 damage with Miraidon. That's literally it. Nothing has changed with this deck. You've got the rescue board there is useful. You've got the obviously Prime Catcher as the A spec. Again, a good solid deck. Not much has changed, and if you've been playing this for a while, this is a good choice for Dortmund. Right, number 7. Oh my goodness, what a fall from grace. If you are playing before Friday, yes, play Regidrago, but unfortunately Regidrago has dropped 6 places down to number 7. Why, I ask? Why? Why do you ask? I'll tell you why. Because there are some new decks out there that are going to cause this deck some problems. Stellar Crown focuses mainly on Stellar, kind of terrestrial Pokemon, and on stage 2s. Yes, this deck is still very, very good. It's going to do incredibly well. I guarantee you there will be quite a few day 2s at Dortmund. However, it just gains nothing from Stellar Crown. Okay, look at the list. There's no Stellar Crown cards there. Briar might be the only addition or maybe you might be looking for a Crispin, but that would literally be it. This is the best consistent build that will do the most damage very quickly. Okay, you've got your Tilmask Ogreponds, you've got your 3/3 liner Regidrago, you've got your Dragapult, your Giratina. Alright, your Kyurem could knock out a few baby Pokemon very quickly in the game, but that's literally it. This is why this deck has fallen. It is just not as consistent as other decks, it's getting no new cards, and I just think it's going to suffer in the new format. However, until Friday, it is still the BDIF. Anyway, on to number 6. Okay guys, let's have a look at number 6. Yes, it is Gardevoir. This deck still cooks. Monkey Dory absolutely is essential for this game. Klefki is brilliant at turning off abilities. Screentail is brilliant for kind of sniping something on the bench. Like I said to you last in my last video, I lost as a challenge very recently to this. I was 1 prize away from winning, and then all of a sudden he came at me with the Screentail and took out my 2 prizer. I was very cross. This deck, if you can pilot it properly, can do extremely well. Be afraid of Gardevoir. If your player is playing Gardevoir or your opponent is playing Gardevoir, be very, very careful. Get those Rolts early. Get those Curliers. And if you are playing a Dark deck, then happy days. But just watch out. Get rid of the Monkey Dories. If you can get rid of any energy as well with Crushing Hammers or anything like that, do it. This deck is the comeback king, and it's a big brain deck, as I said before, so just be careful. If you go up against a Gardevoir player, you know they are good. That is why this is in at number 6. Anyway, the top 5 consists of lots of fantastic brand new decks, so let's go take a look. I don't believe it. I lost this at Worlds 22. I absolutely hated Palkia VSTAR, and what a surprise, it is back. Well, for now, till rotation anyway. Yes, get 8 on that bench, and Palkia VSTAR is hitting ginormous numbers. And here we have a great build that plays a nice kind of colourless supporter line. You've got Blissey there for moving energy around. You've got Hoot Hoot and Noctowl there. That's right, Noctowl is a new card from Stellar Crown. But if you have a Stellar Pokemon in play, you slap it down to evolve a Hoot Hoot, you can look for 2 trainers. That's right, your Stellar Crown Pokemon of choice is of course the Water Ogreponds EX. Is a great card as well for doing 100 and then sniping and shuffling that energy back into the deck. You've got also there the Glass Horn as well to get some energy onto some of your colourless Pokemon. This is a good deck, and of course you've got Terrapagos there as well, terrestrial Pokemon there to make sure that you're using your Area 0 Underground to get 8 on the bench. This deck is going to be very, very good until it rotates. Be afraid of that Palkia, and don't forget it's V-Star. It will accelerate 3 energy from the discard, meaning that Radiant Greninja could technically snipe 2 little Charmanders or Pidgeys on the bench, so have those Manaphies ready. Yes, this deck will see some play. Is it the most consistent? Is it the best deck? We shall see. I will do a follow-up video next week after Dortmund, and I guarantee that there will be some top 32s with this deck. Anyway, let's move on to number 4. Okay guys, number 4, yes, it is our old friend Lugia. This deck is just too good. I actually took this to a challenge recently. I came second. Yes, I know, my kind of winning results with Lugia is hit and miss. Sometimes I'll do extremely well, other times I will fail. This deck, with the right player, just does too well. This is at those TCGs list from Worlds. It's just the best build as far as I'm concerned. You've got the Iron Hands, you've got the Ursalana, you've got the Squawkabilly there to get rid of the discard Pokemon. This is just a really, really good deck. And with Carmine as well, you can technically play it on your first turn, discard those Archeops, and before you know it, you are cooking. And that Legacy energy is perfect for things like the Iron Hands and the Luminion. This deck is just too good. It does still suffer from inconsistencies, but if you play it right, you are cooking. Right guys, let's move on to number 3. Oh yes, number 3, here we go. Dragapult EX is back in the top 5, or the top 3 I should say. Why? I tell you, because of Pidgeot there. Pidgeot is your search card, and it's gained 2 brand new cards there from Briar and Crispin. Crispin lets you search your deck for 2 energy. You can attach one with this card, and then obviously you can attach the Psychical Fire for turn. That gives you 2 energy. You are cooking them with 200 damage. Also, let's take a look at that brilliant new A-Spec card down there. That is right. That will let you remove 1 energy cost from your Dragapult, meaning that you can attack for 1 energy. So that is a brilliant A-Spec tool card there. Will this see lots of play? I think it will. You've got some consistency there now with Serendipity. You've got the Cleffer there to obviously draw until you have 7 in your hand. This is a great deck, and that Pidgeot combination there with obviously the Dragapult is dangerous. This deck is going to do well in the new format. Briar is busted. If your opponent is on 2 prize cards and you knock something out, you can take an extra prize card, potentially leading to a 3 prize turn. Will this deck see play? I guarantee it will. Will it do well at Dortmund? I will review with you early next week. Until then, let's move on to number 2. In at number 2 is Raging Bolt. Oh my goodness, this deck has gained so much from the new format. Just have a look. You've got Crispin there to accelerate energy. You have got the Noctowl there. As obviously Tilmask Overpon is a stellar Pokemon. You have got the Noctowl to search for trainers. You have got the secret box to discard and get even more trainers. This deck has become explosive, it has become dangerous, and it has become consistent. Don't be surprised if you see some Raging Bolt decks in the top 8 at the weekend. Would I play this? I love this new build. The Area Zero Underground really gives it some consistency. If you lose that card, you just get rid of the Noctowls, get rid of the Pokemon that you are not going to need. Get rid of those supporter Pokemon. You are going to be doing some explosive damage. And with the addition of the new Glass Horn as well, you can obviously accelerate energy from the discard onto normal or colourless Pokemon. That is going to be brutal, obviously, when Raging Bolt discards and wants to do 70 per discard. So it'll be very interesting to see what this deck does at the weekend. But without further ado, let's move on to number 1. Here we go, number 1. You've seen it before. It is Charizard. Oh my goodness, I played this deck last weekend and it absolutely cooks. And with that new Tree A-Spec card where you can obviously accelerate to a stage 1 and then to a stage 2, you are getting those Pidgeots, you are getting those Charmanders, you are getting those Charmanders into Charmeleons into Charizards so fast. This deck has now seen some amazing acceleration. You could even use it to get into Dusknoir and boom, sprinkle those damage counters onto a Pokemon. This deck is busted. It is going to win in the new format. With Briar as well, obviously accelerating prize cards, getting more prize cards per turn, you are going to absolutely do well. Smash that fish down, get the Briar. If your opponent's on 2 prize cards, knock something out, you take an extra prize card. That can mean you win in like 2 to 3 turns. Play this deck at your peril. If you go up against it, think very hard about how you sequence things, because this is now going to be a very difficult deck to play against. Charizard is back on number 1. Will we see it win Dortmund? Only time will tell. Guys, let me know in the comments if you think Charizard should be at number 1 and if you think it is going to win at the Dortmund Regionals. Let's review. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed that little kind of pre-Stellar Crown video. Let me know in the comments, are you going to Dortmund? Are you going to play any of these decks? Do you agree with what I have said? I think Charizard is definitely the BDIF. There could be some new wacky builds coming out. I'm looking forward to reviewing and seeing the top 8 and what happens at Dortmund. I'm gutted I can't be there, but like I said, I'm having a bit of a birthday bash. Anyway guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It means so much to me. I've gained loads of new subscribers from doing these new style of videos, so I really do appreciate all the feedback, and I really look forward to reviewing the new Stellar Crown format properly next week after Dortmund. If you're going, good luck, and guys, I wish you the very best, so take care, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care.